The Indian Air Force is on alert. China has moved 5th generation J-20 fighter jets just a stone's throw away from Sikkim. In a tweet by All Source Analysis, Chinese J-20s can be seen on a runway in Tibet. This is the first time the PLA's J-20 have dared to move within 150 kilometers of the Indian border. And you must be wondering, why now and why near Sikkim? Just a few days ago, India sent 8 of its Rafale fighter jets to Alaska to participate in a 2-week-long realistic war games with US Air Force F-16 and F-15 fighter jets. As soon as 8 Indian Rafale flew to America, Chinese J-20 gathered strength in numbers to move closer to the Indian border. Is this mere coincidence, or is PLA trying to sneak closer as the Indian Rafale are away on a mission? Whatever be the reason, the Chinese J-20 have been spotted in satellite images taken on the 27th of May this month at the Shigatse airport in Tibet. Shigatse airport is just 150 kilometers from Sikkim. It is a dual-use airport, which means China has stationed its J-20 near commercial aircraft. 6 Chinese J-20s can be seen in this satellite image. It is yet unclear whether others were off on patrol or were airborne at the time the image was taken. 8 other J-10 fighter jets can be seen in this satellite image, as well as 1 KJ-500 airborne early warning and control aircraft, or AWACS. This is being considered the largest deployment of the Chengdu J-20s in Tibet, as spotted by commercially available satellite imagery. Of course, dedicated US or Indian military satellites would have more detailed information, which is not available in public domain. Located at an altitude of 12,400 feet, Shigatse is one of the highest airports in the world. However, PLA's J-20 were away from their natural habitat near China's east coast or South China Sea, where the threat of a war or an invasion of Taiwan is far more realistic. China's deployment of stealthy J-20s is strategic. It can also be seen as a challenge by PLA to Siliguri Corridor or Chicken's Neck, a narrow passageway which is just 22 to 30 kilometers wide in its narrowest points, connecting mainland India to its northeastern states. The Chinese PLA perceives the Siliguri Corridor as a chink in India's armor. The 2017 Doklam standoff also happened nearby when Indian forces halted PLA construction on Bhutanese territory. More importantly, Shigatse Airport lies less than 290 kilometers away from Hashimara Air Base in West Bengal, where the Indian Air Force has based its second squadron of 16 to 18 Rafale fighter jets, known as the 101 or the Falcons Squadron. The first squadron, or the Golden Arrows, is based in Ambala to safeguard the border with Pakistan. Deploying the J-20s near the Indian border is unusual. PLA has in the past used the J-11 and the Sukhoi 27 aircraft to patrol the border regions of Tibet. China is supplementing its air power expansion with new roads, rail and other infrastructure. Observers say the Chinese military's build-up near its western frontier is due to the potential for what it considers separatist activity within Tibet. China has used an iron fist to crack down on dissent in Tibet, which it occupied by force in 1959. China uses its assets to launch airborne surveillance and reconnaissance missions, not just aimed at India, but also inside Tibet. There are 37 airports and heliports inside Tibet which China has built or upgraded since 2017 Doklam standoff, with 3 less than 60 kilometers from the Indian border. The prospect of IF Rafale in a dogfight with the J-20 is hotly debated. J-20 has never been tested in actual combat situations, and secrecy surrounds its actual capabilities. In a recent report, former Indian Air Chief Marshal Bhaduria claimed PLA was afraid of one-on-one dogfights with the Indian Rafale jet. He recalled how post-2020 Galwan clashes, China deployed 5 J-20 for every 1 Rafale of the Indian Air Force. Nearly 20 Chinese J-20 were spotted by Indian intelligence at the Hotan airfield in Xinjiang back then. Former Air Chief claims Chinese strategy is to depend on quantity rather than quality to face the Indian Rafale. Beijing has also failed to bag any takers in the international market for the J-20 so far. However, talks with the UAE are progressing. The Chinese media overhypes this aircraft as a rival to the US 5th generation fighters like F-35 or the F-22 Raptor. The primary doubts arise from the J-20's lack of combat experience in real-world high-threat environments. On the other hand, the Rafale warbird has been refined over 25 years after numerous battle engagements ranging from Afghanistan to Iraq, Syria to Mali and even Libya. J-20's limited combat range has also been highlighted as the fighters have less room to carry more fuel and weapons while operating from high-altitude air bases on the Tibetan plateau. The French-origin Rafale have been customized for Indian requirements. They can take off with a full weapons and fuel load from Hashimara's airbase at sea level and reach the dizzying heights of the Tibetan plateau within minutes, fully armed and ready. With a service ceiling of 50,000 feet, the Rafale can function exceedingly well at higher altitudes. So aware of all this, how is India countering Chinese threat? The foremost strategy of Indian military is to constantly monitor the situation at the 3,400-kilometer long line of actual control and to boost connectivity to sensitive border regions with new tunnels and bridges. IF has deployed AWACS and radars, including low-level transportable radars in this region, while India has also acquired 31 MQ-9B Reaper drones from America. Moreover, the Indian S-400 air defense systems are said to be capable of detecting and targeting the Chinese J-20, which have also been spotted and monitored by radars of the IAF Sukhoi 30 MKI fighter jets, and thus probably even Rafale. 84 out of the 260 Sukhoi 30s are being upgraded with indigenously designed weapons and electronic warfare systems. India is also producing nearly 200 indigenous 4.5 generation LCA Tejas Mark 1A fighter jets to boost squadron strength before the end of this decade. What do you believe? Do J-20s near Sikkim pose a threat to India's defense and security? Leave a comment, hit the like button, and remember to subscribe to Inconnect News.